each one of us has an emotional toolkit, a kind of set of tools that we use to regulate our emotion, and they're dependent on usually the way our caregivers regulated their emotion. So we inherit this as our limbic system is forming. This is the first 3 years of life. It's mostly a pre-verbal time. We don't have a lot of memories in the first 3 years. With less sophisticated species, the child isn't even born yet when the limbic part of the brain is developing. So this happens in utero. But for humans, because our brains are so big, we had to get out of there sooner. So there we are in infancy, pretty much helpless, and we are subject to the conditions of our environment, and we unconsciously, subconsciously, automatically adapt to the environment. And we learn these emotional tools. We learn how we're going to get our needs met. We learn what feelings are okay to feel. We learn what feelings are not okay to feel, how to manage them. In this toolkit are things like whether or not you trust connection as a means of staying in emotional balance, how safe and reliable that seems to you. The ways that you use thinking to regulate emotion. Often thinking will turn on as a way of distracting from feelings or explaining feelings. It'll even generate one feeling to cover up another feeling. You may notice like sadness happening, and all of a sudden the mind is angry at someone. We get our feelings hurt, and all of a sudden we're all mad. That would be an example of the mind using a rumination to generate anger. And each one of us is going to do different things. And sometimes the mind does beneficial things to regulate emotion, like generating self-compassion, like you were saying. Or loving kindness is a practice that we can use in meditation, where the mind generates kindness in order to bring us back into emotional balance. Other things in this toolkit might be like addictive behaviors, everything from like subtle little cravings, like feeling bummed out, I really want a piece of chocolate right now, to something that's really harmful to life, getting in the way. Also like behavioral addictions, addictive patterns, love addiction, sex addiction, things like that. All of that is part of the emotion regulation toolkit. So the way I hold mindfulness, at least in part, is a set of tools that we can use to replace tools that we have that aren't actually working for us. So we're looking at the tools, watching how we are out in the world, seeing when we're doing what, and then we have this practice that we practice formally in moments like this, or in the morning maybe, that gives us these other tools that we can kind of throw on the tape player in those moments if what's happening isn't working.